Right. Hello and welcome to the Hertfordshire Show, where you can get ideas to help you grow your eco-conscious business. And today I'm joined by Rhian Sherrington from Women in Sustainability, talking about the Women in Sustainability networking community. So welcome, Rhian. Great to have you on the show.
I'm loving being here, Karen. Thank you for having me.
So a little bit about Rhian. Rhian is the founder of the Women in Sustainability Network, which was created to help women access the vital community they need in order to lead change and enjoy business success. The vision is for every female change maker to have the confidence, courage, competence and connections she needs to lead and be a force for good. So absolutely love it. I'm a part of the network and it's been absolutely fantastic. I've met so many amazing women. So let's jump straight into the questions. How did the Women in Sustainability Network begin?
I guess it started with this spark of curiosity, that question, I wonder. I just left a very long career in sustainable transport behaviour change back in 2014, and I couldn't really find my community. I'd been spoilt, I guess, being surrounded by like-minded women in that sector, and I was business networking, but I wasn't really meeting that same crowd. And I was very inspired by the women-only business networking group I was a part of. But there was something really deeply lacking, which was this sense of common purpose and shared values, this caring about the planet and its places and people. So I kind of just wondered. I wondered if there was interest in Bristol, in the green community there, to come together as a group. And so I put out an invitation on LinkedIn and I had 80 women turn up. So I thought, okay, there is interest. And I guess that's how it all started.
Fantastic. I know this because a similar thing happened to me in Norwich. I was going to business networking meetings and not really meeting the right people and saying I do, sustainable businesses and that. And they were like, what are you talking about? So I set up an eco meetup with another lady. And again, we had about sort of 40 people turn up to the first meeting. So yeah, definitely a need for it. So I know you've got a lot of network locations and even overseas now. You've got Frankfurt and New York too. So how did that kind of come about and develop?
Well, I think it's happened very organically, word of mouth. I was running the monthly events in Bristol for maybe a year and a half, maybe a bit longer. And I kept on hearing calls from people, kept on emailing me, can you come to London? So I thought, okay, let's try to go to London. And Smith and Williamson, who were hosting us in Bristol, hosted us for that launch event. And that's when this amazing coach came up to me, Talia Carr, and said, I love this. How can I make this happen in Oxford? And I was really challenged to then go, how do I make this work as a business? Because, I'd set it up to support me in my coaching business, but now it seemed to want to grow elsewhere. So I had to really pull on some entrepreneur big pants on and go, well, how do I make this work? So Talia was my first licensee. We run on a license basis to get the hubs up and going. And and I'll never forget that feeling attending her very first event in Oxford. It was like, wow, the vision is starting to happen. And it's just rolled out from there. People approach me. I guess they're seeing what we're doing, how we're talking about it and so on. And if there's a match with our values, if I can see that there's a good the community in that city is going to really benefit from that person being that hub lead and creating that community around them, then we'll go for it. And I guess that is how it's grown, actually, very organically, very much looking at where the interest is and also looking for the right person, the right match to make sure it can be a success. And Seha and Rupindi in Frankfurt, they came to me and I was just blown away. So that's how it's evolving.
Fantastic. I know I've been to a few, and I think the first one I went to was Virginia, Cinquemani's, about we need more Jacindas in the world. And I was just like, oh my goodness, wow, so many amazing women in the same room, and that was it, sign up. So is there a reason that you've chosen to create this for women only?
Definitely, women only, those who relate to being female. There is, and it's mainly because there is a different type of conversation that you have when it is women only. And I think we can all relate to that. I mean, we have brilliant conversations with men as well, of course. We're not anti-men at all, but there's this different kind of conversation. It's a psychologically safe space. And within that safe space, you can really be yourself, you can ask questions, you can share. And we just have found that's the thing that's made this biggest difference to create meaningful connection fairly quickly. And we have a process in all of our hub leads, they're facilitators, they use this coaching-led approach It's not like just hopping on a webinar and being, here's the expert, learn from them. You know, we really think a lot about how do we cultivate those meaningful conversations that deepen relationship as well as your learning. And that's what we've experienced. So, and also I think in many contexts, you know, there's many women who come to us are in isolation. There's not many men, not many women, perhaps in their sector, particularly as they grow, you know, getting more senior. And so it's so refreshing to come and have that conversation. And we've had research done by Newcastle University Business School, who run the Women in Sustainability Hub in Newcastle. And their research has basically, you know, says that this is why people like coming to our events and being part of the community. It's because of this psychologically safe space that we're creating.
Definitely, and you can be vulnerable, and you can, you know, you can say what you want, and it's a very supportive community, definitely. And I know, I mean, many other networks have really struggled during COVID. I know our one has, you know, and we sort of haven't had as much time to sort of put into it. You know, they all say, when is the in-person coming back again? You know, that's what they love. So how have you kind of managed to keep it growing and thriving?
Well, I think it's because I think I kept calm. When COVID really hit, I kept calm. We just stopped for a moment. We paused. I went out and asked people, both the hub leads and the community, what is it you want from us? How can we help you? And I realized that we were going to have to be really flexible, really, really flexible over what we were doing. So half of the hub leads couldn't do it. The London hub lead, you know, she's got a lead-lined roof to her building. She couldn't get the tech working. So I had to freeze license fees. I had to just shift my whole sense of will this work. But those who wanted to do it, then I really thought about how can I support them. And we've done some facilitation training. We looked at, you know, really long and hard at how can we create that environment that we can still help people to share. Because I was really dubious. Could we still get that kind of relationship going? Can we still, the feeling of being in a women's sustainability event, can we still do it? So that's what we did. And I had to take the hit as well, you know, just like everybody else. I've got 2 teenagers. It's been chaos at times. And, you know, I've seen a 50% drop in my income. I took out a bounce back loan in order to create a bit of a cushion to take the pressure off. So I think we have been affected, sort of kind of behind the scenes. But then we've also, I think, as a group, with all those hub leads around the country and elsewhere, we've come together really beautifully. There's been a lot of collaboration over how can we make now an online program work? Because obviously, if you're just serving your local community in your city in person, you don't need to worry about what's somebody doing up in Aberdeen. You don't need to think about it. But when you're online, you're all competing for that space. So we've had to think very carefully and come together as a team to make that happen. And I'm so pleased with them all. They're an incredible bunch of women who lead all our network hub events. And you know, it's down to them having the guts to keep going and making it happen, to be honest.
Oh, fantastic. And I think as well, it's, you know, it's allowed me to join it because obviously not being in person and online, you can reach anybody. That's fantastic. So can it be the slightly different question? Can it be overwhelming? It can be overwhelming sometimes, you know, people trying to stick to kind of the eco goals and that. Do you have a tip on how best to overcome that?
Yes, I think you just need to be really kind to yourself and identify, just get clear on your focus, you know, just think about what's my focus now over the next 3 months, and really help yourself prioritize around that, because we can't do everything all of the time, but we can do one thing really well most of the time. And I think we do push ourselves a bit too much. So I think, you know, having those regular check-ins, thinking about what it is you want to achieve, what's really important to you, and then saying no. God, what a wonderful word, no. So saying no and creating some boundaries and some space, so then you can really focus on that one thing that really makes a difference to your business, but also to you.
Brilliant. Yes. So what would you say is your top business or lifestyle eco tip?
This is such a good question. Right, instead of saying anything to do with eco, like green hosting and stuff like that, I'm going to say, I think look out for the hope. Seek out positivity and hope. It's too easy to get overwhelmed and very distressed about the state of the world. And so I always say, you know, look for those positive things that are happening. Read, you know, go and look at ed.net, read their summaries, go and find positive news on Facebook. Find these things that really feed you so that you can keep positive, because we're not going to do this if we lose hope and optimism. So we have to find those ways to nurture it. And I would say, you know, like you find those people around you to support you in order to do that.
Definitely. Brilliant, brilliant. Love that tip. And I know you've got an amazing offer, so we're going to round up with this at the moment. Can you tell us what that is?
Well, yes, the digital community is this wonderful subscription side to what we offer with Women's Sustainability. And we've got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 3 more days left to come and join us as a member in that incredible group of women. We've got over 130 change makers, career professionals, business owners coming together for peer-to-peer mentoring, fantastic masterclasses and training from guest experts who share our values and our vision. There's group coaching, there's so much stuff, there's so much support. So come and join us. That's my offer. And you can join us over the next 3 days. You'll get 30 days free. So you get this free trial, and then you can come and join us as a member. And we've got some fantastic events lined up. So that's womeninsustainability.net/subscribe. And that's where you can find out more about it.
Fantastic. And I've shared the link in the post, but I'll just check that it's definitely there. And but yeah, do sign up, guys. I highly recommend it. I'm part of it. I've done the peer mentoring sessions. I've attended a lot of the events. Really amazing. You will get so much out of it. So thank you so much, Rhian, for joining us. It's really great to have you on the show.
Oh, it's lovely chatting to you, Karen.
Oh, I wish we could chat for longer, but we have to go now. Time is up. So thank you to everyone who's watching. For those watching the replay as well, please keep your questions, comments coming, and we'll both keep an eye on that and reply to you. Otherwise, we'll see you same time next week. Goodbye.